Millie, thanks for inviting us to the family farm. What a
You're
lovely
welcome.
place.
I know. Well, this is it. This is retirement. This is why I'm retiring. No, it's honestly amazing. It's my home. It's where I've grown up. You've seen it. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's so nice. So yeah, welcome.
Do you feel at peace?
Yeah, I feel really good. I woke up this morning. I was a little bit anxious yesterday. I weren't really sure how I was going to feel, and obviously so many people have reached out and said you might feel this to start with, and then you might feel like this. And I was like, oh God, I hope I don't feel like that. I want to be happy. But yeah, I woke up just like such a relief, like a really big weight lifted off my shoulders, and just happy, like, and excited. And I think, yeah, I've got a lot of reflecting to do, but for now I'm just going to enjoy being in the moment and, yeah, just being happy.
Are you expecting it to come in waves then, basically?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously announcing it to the team before it came out was really hard. I don't think I said much at all, and then I kicked myself because I wanted to say so much more, but obviously I've got a couple of weeks before the last game to really kind of prepare for that. But again, I'll probably be crying my eyes out in front of the fans, but yeah, it's been a lot of emotions, and I think it'll probably come in waves for a while, to be fair. And I think there's going to be a lot of firsts, like not going to pre-season and kind of doing all those things. But honestly, just a lot of excitement now for what's next. How
difficult a decision was it? You said it was something you've been wrestling with for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those things, and I'd kind of been through it before with England, so I kind of had the same sort of feelings, which is what was eating away at me a little bit, and I knew that I needed to sit down and just think with myself. And that's another thing, I'd not really had the conversation with family or friends too much, to be honest, about retiring, because it was the same as when I retired for international football. I just needed to kind of be at peace with it myself, and I needed to figure my own head out. And I've joked about it for a while, and I've always joked with the girls that I'm going to hang my boots up, and I think now I understand why I was, my body was trying to tell me something. And yeah, it's something that no one can ever tell you when is right. And I think for ages everyone's like, oh, you need to play as long as you can, and I disagree. Like, I think you should play as long as you want to play, and that comes at different stages for different people, but for me now is the right time. I'm done playing injured. I'm ready to let my body rest, and yeah, I think mentally as well, I'm ready to take control of my life again, and yeah, just enjoy. I think I hit 30 and I started looking at things very differently, and I think over the last couple of years lost a lot of people, and a lot of things have changed in life, and yeah, I'm ready now just to be happy, have family time. That's one of my biggest reasons, coming back home and being up here, which is amazing. You probably feel like you're abroad, but we're not. I promise you we're in England. But yeah, everything just made sense, and yeah, I really am at peace with my decision.
Physically, how tough has it been? Because I know you've been playing through a lot just to get yourself to the end of the season and to get yourself to major tournaments. Yeah,
it's been hard. I think for the last 6 years I've pretty much played injured. I think that's 2020 was when I started getting injections in my knee, and that started flaring up, and it is really hard. I think for all the players out there that play with injuries, that the sort of injuries that don't go away. I think once you've had one big injury, you kind of waiting for the next little thing, and it's just you're in this constant phase of management. Every day you have to manage it, you have to tweak your program, you have to do this, offloading, can't train every day, and that for me was really frustrating. Like, having to change my program to suit my knee was hard. I love training. I want to be on the pitch every day, and I almost felt like I was letting people down by not being available. Like match day +2, I couldn't train because I needed to let my knee rest, and I had to do that to be able to be ready for every single game and session. So yeah, that's been really, really difficult, and I think it tires you and it drains you, and I think it takes its toll, and not really knowing when the next thing was going to happen. And then obviously it was my foot, and I think that's probably the only thing that I've had to come to terms with, is not being able to play one last game. I think that made me feel like I weren't in control of my decision, but then upon reflection I am making the decision, and it's well and truly in my hands. And yes, I could have continued playing, but that's not what I wanted, nor is it what I needed. So yeah, it's definitely been tough, and I don't think people appreciate it's physically very, very demanding being 100% fit, let alone carrying injuries for so many years.
Yeah, how long, what's it like sort of, I suppose you were living with pain, I suppose, which is not really something you expect in your late 20s, early 30s.
No, definitely not. Listen, I want a family. I want to be able to walk down the stairs properly. I want to be able to play with my children when I eventually have them. And I think, my knee's been a really tricky time where God, for seasons I couldn't walk after games. And you know, I think your teammates see you go through that and your family, but no one else sees that. And you know, for mid-20s, that's not normal.
And I suppose it affects mood, it affects how you're feeling, it affects connection with other people.
It's draining, it really is draining. And even to the extent of I couldn't go on dog walks where I wanted to, and I couldn't see friends, and they're like, oh, should we go and do this? And I'm like, oh, I can't, I need to be off my feet, I need to rest my knee, I need to be able to train tomorrow. So it does affect everything, but yeah, listen, I gave absolutely everything. If I could go back, I wouldn't change a thing, I'd still do it all over again. And I think I've played through so many injuries as well, I've put my body through a hell of a lot. And listen, there's enough youngsters now coming through, they can take the load and take the pressure, so I can sit back and watch them shine.
You mentioned the mental toll that the game's taken on you as well. You've been really sort of open about the fact that, you know, you're happy to talk about mental health and try to help others, but your journey sounds like it's been quite a complicated one.
Yeah, it's hard. I think most of all we're just human beings, and we have to deal with the same pressures and life situations that, you know, other people have to deal with. And you know, you still got mortgages to pay, bills to pay. You're living away from home. It's, you know, life outside of football still exists. And I think sometimes that might be a little bit forgotten. Like, it'd be so much easier if you could just worry about playing football every day, but you know, that's not the situation. And it has been hard, and you know, things in life that affect other people affect us. You know, for me, my family's my biggest thing, and I always worry about them. I'm so far away from them, and I think that's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to being is just back. Today's my dad's 60th birthday, and I finally get to spend birthdays with my family, and I don't have to say no anymore. And you know, I can, like I said, when I hit 30, I saw life a lot differently through a different lens, and started to appreciate where I was at and what I actually wanted out of life. And for me, football's always been a massive thing, but I've never let it be my whole life. It's a core part of it, but there's so much more outside of football that now I can be excited about, and I can go back to some of my original passions.
But you say, obviously, you know, great thing about sort of so many players is they have a foot in the real world, so they, you know, you have everyday problems, but you're also a professional footballer that comes with, I presume, social media things, it comes with all these sort of things that we don't have to experience in our lives. Has that been tough as well?
Yeah, and listen, it's part of the game as well, and I think, you know, as the women game grows, there's more attention on it, there's more visibility, there's more pressures, there's more opinions, and it is part of the game. But I think it's, you know, I think sometimes it's forgotten how hard it is to deal with that. I think we put enough pressure on ourselves to be successful, to be the best role models, to be the best in every walk of life, really. Because I think we know as footballers we're not just seen by ourselves and friends and family, but you're seen by the whole world, and it's there for the whole world to judge as well and to give their opinion, and that is part of the game. But that doesn't mean that it's not hard, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect you. And I think, yeah, I've definitely probably felt that, and I just got to a place where I'm not prepared to tolerate certain things anymore, and I think I've had to reflect on what's going to be best for me, physically and mentally. And yeah, I've also reflected on what I've given to the game, and I can't give any more, I think. So that's where I'm satisfied with what I've given, and I'm definitely going to be given a lot more, just in a different way. I
suppose it feels like you could never really have an off day, right? Because training every day or rehab every day, or, you know, you've got to be the sort of perfect professional, both on the pitch and in the training ground, and every day when you're seen by the public. Yeah,
definitely. You know, if you go out for a meal and you're seen having a burger and chips at Nando's, and it's like, oh, that's why they lost, because of that. It's I'm looking forward to not having those sorts of pressures and just being able to relax a little bit, and not really checking my shoulder as much, and giving back in a different way. I think that's what excites me, and I've always said I'd love to be a fan at games, and I can't wait to experience that, because as a player it's different, it's so different. You don't get to see what fans see, but yeah, I think one thing is always the schedule. We'd get it through, it'd be like subject to change, because it's chop and changing all the time. You can't plan your life, it's very hard to plan even days off. So now I'm looking forward to being able to take control of my schedule and what that looks like, and when it's family time, and nothing. I don't have to cancel things anymore. So yeah, I'm so excited.
Your career has coincided basically with the professional era of the women's game. You've so obviously you knew where it came from. You were part of it when you were coming through up at Donny and stuff, and then I suppose you sort of were thrust straight into the professional life. So you've sort of seen both sides of it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So your footballing journey's been fascinating, right?
I love it. I love that I was there at the beginning when, you know, the game didn't have anything. I'm really grateful for that experience. I'm grateful for playing semi-pro as well. think it taught me a lot as an individual. You know, I worked 3 jobs playing alongside when I was playing for Doncaster semi-pro, and then moving into Chelsea and seeing the early days of professional football and what that looked like, and then been a part of the Chelsea kind of change and it becoming to where we've got all the facilities that we need now. We've got our own gym. We're not training in the rain outside doing sled pushers and like we've got a cafeteria, we've got chefs. Like, seeing the journey, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way, because I think it's by going through what I've been through and seeing the game in the early starts, I can now really appreciate where it's at. But I also think it's important that players like myself, we keep talking about what came before, because I think it makes you really appreciate how lucky we are now and how big the women's game is. And it's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger. But yeah, it's been fascinating. It's been an unbelievable journey, and I feel happy that I've contributed as well to making change and to seeing both sides. And yeah, like I said, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
I mean, you are Chelsea, though. You've been there for nearly 12 years. You've been part of the journey with, you know, all the trophies and all the domestic dominance.
Yeah.
Surely you're going to miss just sort of being part of that sort of really special club and what they're achieving.
Yeah, I think that's probably the hardest part. And I think, you know, when you get upset, everyone straight away goes, "Oh, are you sure you made the right decision?" I'm like, yes, I'm positive. That's not why I'm upset. I think it's the emotion of the people. I think for me, it's always been about the people, and it's what's kept me at Chelsea for nearly 12 years. And it has been a family away from home, and I'm so grateful for the people that I've met through football. I met my best friend Rach, which I couldn't imagine life without her. You know, I've stumbled across Emma Hayes, who I don't know why she picked me in the first place, but she did, and she's given me my career and taught me so much about life and leadership, and now that's going to benefit me going into my next kind of chapter in life. But the people that I've met are more than just teammates and more than just colleagues, and they're people that I'll carry with forever. But yeah, I'm going to miss that, definitely. I think that's going to be a hard thing, as not been there every day, and I like to be involved, but obviously staying on as an ambassador and a trustee for the foundation. And yeah, I always said they'll never get rid of me, so I'll be there as long as I can. I'll still be chiming in, and they'll definitely hear me. That is for sure. But I think that's the hardest part, is not seeing your people every single day. But then again, I get to come home to my family and I get to see them every day, so it really is like a really sweet ending to my career.
You've worked with some amazing coaches. You mentioned Emma. Was it nice that kind of she signed you when you were younger? And I suppose you kind of grew together. She grew into this incredible sort of world-renowned coach, and you grew into this sort of internationally renowned defender together.
Yeah, honestly, I've got so many people to repay, right from being at school to my first manager at Dynamos to then Doncaster to the players. Like Katie Chapman's been a massive, call her my sister, she's been a massive part of my life, and she took me under her wing straight away, and I always wanted to be like her, I wanted to play like her. And I remember we played in midfield together, and they were some of my best memories. But everyone's played a part and everyone's played a role. But yeah, Emma kind of took this young player and ball of energy that didn't really know football, and I remember my first week she was like, "Can you just stop running? just stop, just stand still a little bit." But I was just so excited, I wanted to impress, and then she's moulded me into the person that I am through the experiences at Chelsea, but also taught me, you know, culture and environments and how to get the best out of people and how to create a winning environment, and not just to get there but to stay there and to keep winning. And seeing how she's built Chelsea from nothing to what it is incredible, and then being able to hand it over to another amazing manager that's continued that success is, I think that's really unique, and I don't think you see that very often. No,
I mean, I can only imagine the hole that Emma left, and that's not a knock on Sonia, just because Emma being this incredible presence and what she built. Like, I mean, you must think it just must be really nice to have that person in your life, because I presume personally as well as professionally.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, Emma's the first person when I need someone. She's the first person on the end of the phone, and I've never seen her as like a manager. I see her as a person. I've always said she's a life coach, because that's what she's been, and most importantly, she's a friend, and she always will be. But yeah, she's someone that will always be at the end of the phone when I need her, and she's off living her best life now, as we get to see. I always tell her, don't do too well against England, please. Just have a day off on that day. But yeah, she deserves all the success, and I think to be able to hand the club over to someone else, and then obviously we went and had a successful season with Sonia, is incredible, and that's kind of unique. That having that opportunity to work under another great manager is something special as well. So I feel really, really lucky because I don't think that comes around often. So yeah, I'm extremely proud and grateful for that.
Obviously, everybody knows the success you had with England as well. You're not quite at the stage you're saying to be completely reflective yet. You're still coming to terms with the last 24 hours. But at the same time, like, you know, and I've got a little bit longer, I suppose, with England because obviously of what happened last summer. But you must be thinking now you must be quite excited to be able to reflect on what you did with England. Yeah,
I think football's one of those things where, especially being at a club like Chelsea where it's so fast-paced and there's a million competitions that you're playing in, I need to kind of like train my brain and reprogram it almost, because you compete at a final, you win, you tick it off, and then you put it to one side immediately, and it's like, okay, well, back to training, got to get ready for the next game. And it's always been something next, like that's football, it's fast-paced, like what's next? Like, you complete a season, you're like, okay, brilliant, we did that, but then immediately, even after the treble unbeaten, we were like, okay, but now we need to do one better. That's just the way football trains you to be. So I don't even think I've really reflected on my England career, and I've always said that I don't think I will until I fully retire. And now that I have, I am excited. Like, me and my family, we're going to do a whole scrapbook. My mum and sister have collected every newspaper with all my, since I was literally at the Dynamos, we've got every little bit. So we're going to get all the cutouts and do a scrapbook, and I'm excited for that because I don't think I have ever reflected or appreciated kind of what I've achieved. I'm not really the best at that anyway. I like everyone else could take the limelight. I've enjoyed it, but I think it's something that I need to do, and when I'll do that, I think I'll start slowly, but there's so much to reflect on that I just need to take my time with it. But for now, I'm going to go in a little bit of holiday mode. I think I deserve that, and then I'll start reflecting properly. But I think it'll take a bit of time.
I bet, but you know, you with the starting centre back in the run to and winning the Euros, and then you captain England at the World Cup all the way to the final. That's amazing.
I know. When people say it back to me, I'm like, okay, that was pretty cool and did really well. But some of the best moments of my life. And I'm looking forward to telling stories and, you know, going to schools and seeing the little ones and kind of giving those stories. I think it's, I don't know, I feel like you can say it in a different way when you're retired because you're sharing memories. It just feels a little bit different now. And I'm really excited to kind of get involved in all that sort of stuff and fully reflect and then fully share all stories of football, because I think they should be told some of the best moments. I
wanted to ask you about the World Cup. So obviously you were captain for that.
Yeah.
Start of the tournament, it was sort of a bit different because it was all like pay disputes and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I know you were one of the voices were like, hang on a minute, we want to put football first here. We've got something to focus on. And your team did, and they went on this brilliant run. Does that kind of like make you feel proud that as a captain you sort of stepped up and did something a bit different in a way that you wouldn't necessarily expect from most team captains having to do?
No, I think it's sort of those moments that I'm proud of the most. And I think same for Chelsea as well. And I think on and off the pitch, I'm always someone that if someone needs to speak up, I'll be there. And I think that's something that I kind of did at the club as well. And I always fought for the club, not just the women's section, but the club and kind of what we want to stand for and stuff like that. So I feel like I've always been at the forefront of stuff like that, and I like doing that, and I'll always fight for what's right. And that was the same in the World Cup, but I was proud of all the girls, especially kind of in the leadership group, and that was really hard in itself. It was a different challenge and something that none of us have ever been in. You know, again, you want to go to football and just focus on football, and we had all this other noise, and I think we handled it extremely well, and I think it showed a lot of growth all round with England and what we dealt with and what we managed to come out. And yes, we didn't get the outcome, but to do all that whilst dealing with that, I think again it just kind of shined a light on things that we have to deal with. Not that we should, but again, I think moments like that I probably need to appreciate a little bit more now. But now I've got time to reflect, I can do that. But the World Cup was spectacular. I was just so proud that we made it to the final, and there was a lot of noise around all of our injuries and stuff like that. And I think it's powerful as well what a team is capable of when you all come together and align on kind of what the goal is and what you're going to allow and not allow in the bubble.
And I also remember we spoke after the final and you were like, we need to be proud of what we've achieved here, and that was the message you were sending to the rest of the players who were crestfallen.
Definitely, because I think we'd been through a lot, and yes, we did have big names out, and straight away everyone writes you off because big names are out the squad with injuries, but there was still so much talent in the squad, and I think it's so easy in those moments to be heartbroken. And listen, I'd experienced that losing the Champions League final as well, so I think I remember, I can't remember who it was, but I had my medal on and then I took it off, and they were like, put your medal on, like, you should be really proud of that. Like, not everyone gets an opportunity to even compete for that, let alone to wear it. So I'd experienced that in the Champions League final, and I am proud of that. And yes, I would have loved to have won that 100%, but I'm going to be pushing Chelsea to make sure we win it now. Even if I'm not on that pitch, I'll still be a part of it. But yeah, there's honestly so much to reflect. My mind's like crazy at the minute.
The way your England journey finished was on your terms as well, wasn't it? You decided to step away before the Euros, and then you decided to sort of make that permanent. It's interesting when we were chatting to Serena about it. She was nothing but respectful.
Yeah.
And it was no word, but not kind of like just saying the right thing for the cameras.
Yeah.
She clearly respected the conversations that you had and the decisions you were making. How much did that mean to you?
Yeah, everything, because it's not easy by no means. Like, being injured for one is not easy. Two, making a decision on something that you've given your absolute all to, you've made sacrifices, you put your body through hell, like you lose out on a lot of life playing football. Like, your life is football every single day, so you lose out on so many things. So to then give that up, it's hard enough, but having the support of your manager and the people within the England setup were amazing, and my teammates, like, I've got nothing but respect for Serena. Our conversations were positive and supportive, and it was just my decision. Like, that's just what I needed to do at that time, and I'm a big believer that if you're not 100%, then I can't give to the team. And there was other players that were there that were mentally and physically in the best possible shape to go on and give England the best, and I wasn't. So I don't want to let anyone down, and that'll always be my mindset. Like, I could still play now, but I did, and it was, I needed surgery at the end of the day. Like, I went and fixed my knee, and I couldn't have played another season with Chelsea if I didn't fix my knee. And timing is everything, and you miss out on things, but that is part of sport as well. You do have to make big decisions and tough decisions, but I was super proud of my England career. And again, there's so many talented players coming through. Like, I'd done all I could do. Like, I'd given my piece, and you pass the baton on to the next kid coming through, and now it's time for them to shine.
And those kids will be wanting to be the next Millie Bright, right?
Hopefully, but I want them to be their own self and play their game, and I think that's the beauty of it. So many players are coming through now that have got so many different attributes to give on the pitch, and we're seeing, a lot of change in the squad now, and it's so nice to see the kids getting the minutes and coming through. And it's just part of football. It evolves. It's it's a different era now in the game. There's a lot of my era that are coming to the end and have already retired, and it's just a blessing to be a part of it.
How would you sum up your last season at Chelsea? Because obviously you have missed game time, and obviously the season hasn't gone how you wanted it to. That must have been really frustrating, just sort of not being able to contribute as much as you wanted. Yeah,
really difficult, and I'm someone that likes to be involved, and I guess, again, it's just another test in life. It's just, this is the thing that I've been batting with in my head, of not feeling like in control, because I couldn't go and give, and I want to help my team in any way possible, but I think just life throws challenges at you for a reason, and I just think, I've just had to weigh up all those things. But obviously I'm gutted to not have had one last game or to contribute to the girls, and obviously as a team we've not had the season that we wanted, but I'm just a big believer that when you have setbacks, it's for greatness to come, and that's always been the case in my football career. We lost Champions League final, an abundance of greatness came after that, and trophies. So I just think it's hard to see it in the moment, but it's easy for me to sit and reflect now because I'm on the outside. But I think greatness will come after this, and it feels like a little bit of a process of change. And I think change is good, and sometimes it's needed, and it'll push the girls on for even better next season. Are you ready for that swell of emotion you're going to get in the last day at the bridge? No, and I don't think I will. I will be. I'll definitely be wearing a hat and glasses. I think seeing my family there as well will be probably what tips me over the edge, and I can't wait to celebrate with the fans. And they've been the biggest part of my career, and there's fans that are still there, a core group from Staines back in 2015. I told them I still want my jelly babies and my cream eggs, because I can eat as many as I want now. But I'm just excited. I'm excited, and it feels kind of nice doing it at the bridge, because it's like passing the baton on to the next era of Chelsea. It's kind of a nice feeling that I've had my time at Kingsmeadow, and this is the new chapter. This is the new Chelsea. But to be able to still be a part of it as an ambassador, and doing my work through that, and supporting the girls that way, will be really, really special. And I said I'm getting one of those big flags. I'm going to be waving it on the sideline, so I'll be the biggest fan. But you'll be going full Basil. Yeah, literally, Basil, I'm coming for you. But no, it's going to be really, really special. but we've still got a job to do. I've been telling the girls that, so we want a good end to the season.
What are you looking forward to doing next then? What's the one thing you're like, here we go?
Home, honestly, home is my first priority. Being here, back with the horses, just having freedom. I think that's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to, and it's doing what makes me happy. Seeing my family, seeing my friends, being with the horses. I've got no restrictions.
Getting on a horse now,
yeah, so you'll definitely be seeing some horse content because I'm getting straight back on board. I've missed it so much, and again, that was my first love. It's been a massive part of my life that's been on hold, and I'm just looking forward to holidays, relaxation. And then, give me a couple months and then the hard work starts.
You're going to throw yourself into holidays in this life like you did your career, right?
Yeah, literally, 100%. The summer's going to be the best summer. And then the work starts, and I can't wait to get stuck into a different type of work.
I'm sure you won't brag at all when the rest of the team's going back for pre-season and you're lying on the beach somewhere.
I'll be sending them pictures, don't worry.
Well, look, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you over the last few years and following your career.
Thank you so much.
And just thanks again for inviting us and for chatting
to us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Enjoy the sun. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.